I'm Diane Rosignolo with NAREIT. In conjunction with NAREIT's REIT Week, I'm here today with Lisa Palmer, President and CEO of Regency Centers Corporation. Lisa, how are you today?
I'm great, Diane. I sure wish we could be sitting next to one another doing this interview rather than doing it virtually, but I still appreciate the time that you're allowing us. Thank you.
What are the challenges and how is Regency responding to those challenges that the pandemic has created for the company?
That's a great question, Diane. Gosh, that's so hard to answer because we're all living in a time that none of us have lived in before. So the challenges that are confronting just people across the world are all pretty similar. Every organization, every business is facing enormous challenges, and mostly with trying to care for their people. So that's been number one from the beginning for Regency. And from the day that we closed our offices across our 22 offices across the country, it's been our top priority. So with that said, so making sure that we are communicating and keeping our people safe and keeping our people working and productive, that's been one. But then at the same time, with our business, we have open air shopping centers. We have at least one tenant open in all of our shopping centers. So we have over 400 shopping centers across the US, and they're all open and operating, but all are not paying rent. So that's been a bit of a challenge for us as well, as we have 100% of our operating costs. We don't have much variable costs to reduce, yet we're only receiving, in April, it was 65% of our rents. So that's been a bit of a challenge for us as well. And then on top of that is just the emotional and psychological burden on our tenants. We have over 8,000 tenants. And approximately half of those, a little more than half, about 4,200 of them, are what we would call local tenants, so small business owners. And in a lot of these cases, it's their life savings. And it's not just their life savings, it's their lives. It's what they do. So the burden and the emotional toll it's taking on them is obviously something that we are trying to help them with and work with them. That's probably been the biggest challenge, but again, it's, we're all facing an enormous emotional and psychological challenge with this pandemic.
What steps has Regency taken to assist its tenants during this time and as we look toward the future?
So, as I just said, we have over 8,000 tenants, and the safety and well-being of our tenants is as important to us as the safety and well-being of our own team members. Not just our tenants, but also the shoppers at our shopping centers. But the first thing that we really did was we made it an absolute objective to be sure that we can contact every single one of our tenants. And I'm really proud of our team that we were able to mobilize and do that as quickly as we did. We then created resources for our tenants, including a website where we helped to point them in the right direction or educate them on the CARES Act, on the SBA loan program, on state and county guidelines. We prepared a business assistance FAQ document. Again, the team just has done a remarkable job. I really can't say enough how proud I am. We also, I think, as many of our listeners will know, we've implemented pickup and go zones at our shopping centers, dedicated parking spaces to help our tenants and our shoppers for ease of ordering online and picking up curbside. And again, just to make sure that we're keeping our tenants safe and our shoppers safe as well.
Do you see opportunities for Regency as we come out of this pandemic?
There will be opportunities. The biggest question, though, is how long will this last? And therefore, when will we be able to really capitalize on those opportunities? I do think that there will be opportunities for Regency. One, I believe the quality of our company will shine through in this. And as a result of that, I think that we will be able to attract and retain great people. I think we will be able to attract and retain great retailers and service providers. The quality of our real estate, the quality of our people, all of that will really matter. Not just what we do, but even how we do it and how much we care. And then on the other side, there will be investment opportunities as well, particularly, unfortunately, from where there's going to be financial distress. We had the same opportunities coming out of the GFC, and we were able to capitalize on some of those. We went into this pandemic with in a really great position from a balance sheet perspective. We had net debt to EBITDA in the low fives, a really low payout ratio, and therefore the highest absolute level of free cash flow in the sector. And we do know that that will serve us well as we do come out on the other side. But again, there's so much uncertainty as to know when we'll be able to flip to that offensive versus just ensuring that we're doing all we can today for our people, for our tenants, and for our shoppers.
How will the pandemic change the use of real estate in your sector?
There's never been more evidence that owning and operating essential retail is critical. And over 60% of our portfolio falls in the essential retail category. And therefore, I think that owning shopping centers that are grocery anchored, that have restaurants that are feeding our communities, are still going to be critically important in the future. They will change as a result of this pandemic. And retail's always been evolving. We were seeing a lot of changes even prior to COVID-19. This pandemic has accelerated a lot of those changes. And now we have seen people become more comfortable with ordering online and either delivery or picking up in the parking lot, in some cases in the store. And I think that this clearly is accelerating that, meaning that there's going to be more market share captured in retail dollars. However, at the same time, it has also highlighted the cost of that for the retailers. And for people that are following the news and can see even Walmart and Target and all of the grocery stores, while their top line sales have really increased, their margins have compressed because delivering, and part of that is also related to establishing more safety protocols and ensuring their customers are safe. But a lot of it is related to just the higher cost of delivering the goods to their customers. So I think that we will continue to see an acceleration towards that, but at the same time, we are going to see these retailers still try to incent the customer to come in the store, because that is the most cost-effective way of delivering what they sell. And I don't mean delivering in the literal sense, but of getting their goods to the customer. So I do believe that we will see changes in open air shopping centers to the extent that there will be more use of order online, pick up in the parking lot, or pick up in the store. But generally speaking, I like operating in the part of the retail sector that we operate in, which is grocery anchored shopping centers close to neighborhoods and communities. I think it's going to be even more critical to people to stay close to home for a period of time. And over the long term, that has proven to be a really great investment strategy. And I think that we're going to see that continue in the future.
Lisa, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you, Diane.
For more from REIT Week, visit REIT.com.